Hello and welcome YouTube and criminal community, welcome into yet another of my build highlight videos. Today we're gonna talk about the physical Cadence Warborn Witchblade. So even though I played this character in the season 3 of our community league, this build is a very much vanilla build and you can play this without any of the mods, you can just play this in a standard game as well. The Warborn set is one of the basically oldest sets in the game, focusing on like basically Cadence, Warcry, which gives you a permanent Warcry. And other than that, you can just use any other support class that you want with us, like an Oathkeeper works very well, a Necromancer works very well, and also traditionally a Occultist always has been working well with a Warborn setup as well. This was pretty much Season 3's version of my usual like face tanker build that I do like once per season, since some of these super bosses are best taken down by just face tanking them, such as non-league super bosses like Kalagaja and Ravager, as well as some of the league super bosses such as Aranea and Gadakros. So if you're looking for an alternative to those retaliation builds, those Avenger Warders, or like all of those warlords that you can make, then the physical Warborn Witchblade is a very much viable alternative and is a very classic build, just a straight up physical damage build, no retaliation damage added here whatsoever. Okay, so first of all let's check out the skill point allocation of this Warborn Witchblade. Of course, we are using Cadence as our main damage ability, right? 26 out of 16 points here. Trying to hit that 26 points here because 500% weapon damage is nothing to laugh about, right? This is basically 90% of your damage, if even not even more. So yeah, this is the thing to max out. 1 point to fighting form. You can also put 11 points here if you want more AoE. That is very helpful for, say, for example, clearing Crucible or like doing Shattered Realm. I didn't really need more than 1 point here because generally I was just using this character to like farm super bosses, so like to defeat the super bosses. Yeah, for those you don't need AoE, right? 17 out of 12 deadly momentum. Trying to get this as high as possible. You can get more than 17 points here if you use certain pants, like Chupacabra pants, for example, that give you even more, like +3 to deadly momentum on top. And yeah, this is one of your best like damage steroids for Cadence that you have, so you want this as high as possible. Then we have 1 point into these weapon pool skills each, Zolan's Technique, and 1 point to Warcoin's Advantage. You can very much also skip these. I don't think they do that much on one-handed Cadence, honestly. You have the A-Shred on the blind side of Blitz anyway, so like this one is kind of useless, and you can just like remove these 2 points as well to like just put them down into your mastery bar here. Or like also only remove Markovin's Advantage and then put a point into Markovin's Defense if you are using the Spell Scourge Amulet, because then you will have almost full uptime to Overguard, and also the damage penalty from Markovin's Defense won't be quite as bad if you are using the like Spell Scourge Amulet. But that is a more defensive setup, and for general like killing most of the bosses as well as like farming, I would not suggest to take the Markovin's Defense. 12 out of 12 points to Fighting Spirit. I mean, this is more like a passive skill into which you put the points last after you have like maxed out all the other things and like soft cap the other things that you want to get. You just put the points here. But it's a very nice like OA and damage steroid as well. Really good uptime as well if you put 12 out of 12 points here. 1 point to many as well, right? If you're playing hardcore and you don't feel safe with only 1 point, you can also put more points here. This is one of your like circuit breakers, which prevent you from dying basically. And this is also one of the reasons why we're playing one hand and shield and not dual wield here. Dual wield is generally way better on a Death Knight anyway, and on a Witchblade we really want to focus on getting like that physical resistance up, and for getting physical resistance up, a shield is just way better. Military conditioning, 11 points out of 10 here. Well, pretty standard for pretty much any soldier, right? Get that nice physique and health. You can also just put 10 points here if you feel like the 11th point is needed somewhere else more direly, right? But 10 or 11 points is what you want to have here. 1 point shield training, 1 point veterancy. I mean, you have a shield, right? So you 1 point this, 1 point veterancy. I mean, you always 1 point this, kind of. This also can help you put more points to cunning if you would like to do that. Overguard, 15 out of 12 points. You want at least 12 points. I just put even more points here because I wanted even additional absorption. It's not really necessary, I would say, but it made me feel a little bit safer against some of those bosses. So 15 out of 12 points it is here. 14 out of 12 points field command. You want at least 12 points. And after that, every second point, so like every even point is worth taking, so like 14, 16, 18 and so on. Next up we have the squad tactics. Squad tactics always soft capped for attack speed and percent all damage, right? It is not really worth to overcap this. 15 out of 12 points would give you another plus 1% attack speed, but that's like kind of not really worth it to go for. 8 out of 8 points to Decorated Soldier for that elemental resistance, slow resistance, and some additional like physical and trauma damage. Very nice. Helps a lot with like resistances, and 8 out of 8 points is like the best value you can get here. You don't need to put more than 8 points here ever. 1 point Scars of Battle gives us 4 points here. This is used for armor absorption, bleeding rest, and free rest, right, on pretty much any soldier. The armor absorption kind of being the most interesting part about this, honestly. But the Warborn set already gives you like additional armor absorption as well anyway. So while you would usually put 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 points into this on other soldiers, this one only needs 1 point, so 4 out of 8 points here. Now the second most important ability on this entire build, apart from the Cadence, is actually Warcry, because the Warborn set gives you minus CDR to Warcry, so we have a 4.2 second recharge Warcry with a, well, damage reduction debuff that lasts for 5 seconds, so literally full uptime on 30% damage reduction, so all enemies around you in a 70-meter radius deal 30% less damage basically all the time, so keep in mind to always spam this button. It is very, very important. Also, the break morale part gives you 45 like flat physical resistance reduction, which is also completely insane, which means you don't need any like flat resistance reduction sourced from devotions, and yeah, it's just insane, right? Very, very good. Then we also have Alderun's Rage at 18 out of 12 points here, giving us some nice like percent physical damage, eternal trauma damage, threat internal trauma damage, offensive ability, movement ability. So yeah, but really, really good, like the best exclusive to use here. You could also consider Menhir's Bulwark, honestly, but the Warborn set supports Alderun's Rage heavily, and I think it's just too good not to take here. But Menhir's Bulwark could be an alternative if you switch out some things like maybe boots and gloves. Then you could also consider Menhir's Bulwark maybe, but I feel like Menhir's Bulwark is just way, way better on other builds and not on a Warborn build. On Warborn, you just kind of want to play Alderun's Rage always. Moving over to the Occultist class, right? Occultist class is really good for a Warborn build, especially defensively when you play with the shield, because Occultist really doesn't need many points to do what you need it to do, right? You only need 32 points to get to Blood of Dreeg and Aspect of the Guardian. Blood of Dreeg giving you OA and a heal, whereas Aspect of the Guardian gives you 12% physical resistance and 100% poison resistance. This is insane because it, well, basically like solves all your poison resistance already. And physical resistance is also really, really, really good for tanks like this, because you want to really stack up either armor or phys res or even both. And yeah, this is just insane to like hit a good physical resistance number. On top of that, you have 12 out of 10 points in Curse of Reality, giving you 27% physical resistance reduction. Very, very nice. And it's also a very good procer for devotions like Maul, for example, or whatever you want to put on this, like Azrakar works well as well. And then also you have a attack speed steroid in the form of Salazar Witchfire. Up to 4 points is really, really great, because up to 4 points you have some points that give you more than just 1% per point. The fourth point, for example, jumping from 4% attack speed to 6% attack speed, which is why you want to put at least 4 points here. The points after 4 points are kind of, well, you still get like 1% attack speed per node, so it would probably still be better than putting points to squad tactics, because this would be like 3 points, I mean, yeah, like 3 points per 1% attack speed after 12 out of 12 points. But I felt like 4 out of 12 is really the most efficient thing to do here, because it also adds you flat chaos damage, which can be good on a dual wield setup with Baranath, right? However, on this specific setup with a shield, we don't convert that. So yeah, just 6% attack speed is what we get from this basically, and for that, 4 points of investment are, I think, fair. Now moving over to the devotions. When it comes to devotions, you really have a couple of different setups you can go for, but you should always have the Assassin's Mark, right? And probably also just bind this to Cadence, because Assassin's Mark is insanely valuable and you need that resistance reduction up all the time. So yeah, about this one to Cadence. Then you also can use Ulzad very well. I like this a lot. Bound to Warcry has basically like a 100% chance to activate. Very, very nice here. Then also, if you're playing one-handed or dual-wielded physical nowadays, you need to always have the Maul, right? The Bear devotion. Because armor basically is more important now than it was. And also armor reduction is a little bit more important than it was. Because, yeah, one-handed setups have rather like more smaller chunks of damage that they deal, right? Two-handed setups don't necessarily need them all, like they don't necessarily need Bear to deal like good damage, because two-handers have like rather slower attack speed, like bigger hits, and the bigger your hit is, the less effective armor is. Same for enemies. So yeah, if you're not playing two-handed, then I would say Bear is basically mandatory for every single physical devotion, I mean physical build now, right? The other skills are, well, Dryad for some all heal armor and so on, also like for spirit reduction, so you don't need to put as many points to your spirit to wear your rings and so on, and also some nice physical resistance on top, and slow rust. Like Dryad is honestly, I feel like Dryad is also pretty much a mandatory devotion for physical, right, nowadays. Like Assassin's Blade, Dryad, Bear are really important, and then Ulzard is great as well, and Auto Run would be great. I'm not using Auto Run here, I went for a little bit more defensive things, like just Nodes and Obelisk for armor, DA, and more DA, and then Azrakar, because Azrakar is kind of easy to get to if you use Obelisk as well. So Azrakar gives you like % physical damage, right, attack speed up here, the proc, which is very nice to put on the Deathstalker relic if you have that one. Works really well with a pet. And the other devotions are the Watcher, right, for more armor and DA. The Stag for, well, Physras and physical damage. You can also use Panther instead of Stag. Actually, these two are both really good. And generally, Panther is the better devotion, in very much general, for offensive ability. However, I actually had enough OA and DA on this build anyway, and then I rather wanted to get the physical resistance of the Stag. And then we have Sailor's Guide as well for slow rest, movement speed, and physical resistance as well. We got the Wraith. This is really only a filler. This really does nothing apart from like Aetheress, Spirit, and giving us like 3 purple and 3 blue affinity. And then we have the Good as well as another like circuit breaker, which gives us insane love leech, right? And health and so on and so on. Self-sustaining here, right? 3 reds, needs 1, so like you put 1 here, get the Good, and then remove the 1 from Crossroads again. And yeah, you could also actually keep the Crossroad node instead of the node down here. But I kind of liked having the Spirit, because Spirit means you don't have to put like Spirit into your attribute points, right? So that was pretty helpful as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Empty Throne as well, a filler for like, well, Pierce Rest, Chaos Rest, Stun Rest, Aether Rest, and so on, right? Really good as well. You can alternatively to Empty Throne also use the Hammer and the node here. If you don't need a Stun Rest or Aether Rest or Slow Rest or Chaos Rest, then you can very much take out the Throne and get purple Crossroads as well as armor from Hammer, right? Hammer would be more armor and physical damage and internal armor damage, so really good alternative here as well. Also, if you are fighting something that you want to nullify, or like against which you want to nullify either yourself or the enemy, you can also always take out Watcher and get the Ulo devotion instead. That also very much works. Now let us talk about the gear on this build. So obviously we have the Warborn set, right? Warborn 4-piece is core here. So yeah, Warborn Gavel, Warborn Helmet, Warborn Chest, Warborn Shoulders. This set gives you permanent uptime to Warcry. It's actually just the helmet that does that already. And then you have like support for, well, Cadence, Warcry, Auto-Run's Rage. Really good set overall. And also the Warborn proc, which gives you even more attack speed and damage, is insane as well. And also even has a heal on top. I don't know, it's like so crazy, this set. It's really strong. For pants I'm using Choices of Barbaros. As I said earlier, you can also use Deadly Momentum Chupacabra pants if you have like a very nice pair of them. I guess I didn't have a nice pair of these, so I just used the Choices of Barbaros, which have been nerfed in the past, but they're still like actually insanely good for a build like this. For the belt, I'm using a Ugdenborg girdle. As you can see, Thunderstruck prefix really doesn't do that much for me. Like, I don't need the stun rest, I don't need lightning damage, obviously. The reason why I was using this was because of the Aether resistance it gave me, and also it does give you like some additional OA on top. Of Readiness suffix just gives you OA and DA, so also the magic one, really easy to get, and I'm pretty sure you can also easily get an even better one than this one. For the metal, we're using the Mark of Havul. I have a Stone Face of Ruin, which is obviously very good for damage. Also, the Mark of Harvul comes with innate, like, implicit chaos resistance, which is also great for this build, because this build really struggles with, like, Aether and chaos resistance a little bit. So you want to get, like, Aether and chaos rust, ideally on these, like, monster and frequency so you can easily farm, easily target farm, and that's also one of the reasons why I had the Throne Devotion. For boots, I'm using Windshear Greaves. I think if you're not playing Menhir's Bulwark and not playing Golemborn Greaves, then Windshear is just absolutely insane. The proc gives you like 60% dodge for 5 seconds and more attack speed, and also like you have +2 fighting form, +2 blind sight as well on the boots themselves. I even got armor when I crafted these, right? You can craft these and then get like physique or armor on top from Angrim, for example. Physical resistance as well, like these are just absolutely insane. As long as you're using a shield, Colossal Grasp is great, because you have another 150% physical damage and eternal trauma damage to Overguard, as long as you have Overguard active, right? Which also would mean that if you choose to use the Transmitter on Overguard, you don't get punished as much. Like you don't have as much of a damage loss. Also, these come with like innate 12% attack speed as long as you're using a shield, which is just insane as well. Like no other piece of gloves gives you as much attack speed, I think, so this is insane for a shield. Let's talk about the rings real quick, right? We're using 1 Ring of the Black Matriarch for +2 Cadence, +2 Curse of Frailty, and 10% resistance reduction on the proc. This is literally best in slot for any physical Witchblade. It's absolutely insane. Even has cunning and attack speed on top, right? It's just insane. So you always want to use this if you're playing a Witchblade. The second ring can be either a Mythical Combustion Band for even more resistance reduction, or a Mythical Menhirion for more armor, or a well-rolled Gargoyle's Ring, right? You can just farm the tree in the Ancient Grove dungeon, which gives you the Gargoyle Ring, right? And if you get, for example, Consecrated of Ruin on top, you will get some more physical damage, resistances that you're looking for maybe. I mean, it really like kind of depends on the rest of your build, like what you need to fill out the remaining resistances. You can be very flexible with this. Like from my build, Consecrated Ruin seemed to be one of the best options, so I went with this one. The shield is a Warden's Fortress in this case. Warden's Fortress is great because it already has physical resistance as an implicit, and if you get something like Keepers or Durable prefix on top, you get even more physical resistance. The Keepers prefix is actually completely insane because you also have the Earth Ward skill that you will have a chance to activate whenever you block, and which will give you even more health regen as well as 30% increased armor for 8 seconds. Of Ruin suffix is just again more physical damage, which is always nice, right? Helps out a lot. And also you do get more recharge to Blitz, like less recharge to Blitz rather, and more damage to Blitz, which is also not bad. I mean, it's not really like the main damage of this build, but it does help a little bit. And I felt like on a Witchblade, the other green shield options are overall, I feel like just inferior to Warden's Fortress, but I guess it kind of depends on what kind of affixes you also have on different shields. You can also alternatively use the legendary shield, Siegebreaker shield actually. It's called Siegebreaker, right? Mythical Siegebreaker. That one works really well as well. Has like +1 soldier and a bunch of other stuff, right? It just would have a less physical resistance than this one and thus be a little bit squishier, I think. For the amulet, you can use at least 2 different amulets, probably 3. Spell Scourge Deflector, +1 all skills to soldier, recharge duration reduction to Overguard, and attack speed to Overguard. So really great as well. You can alternatively also use the Ravager of Cairn, which I don't have on me right now. Actually, there it is. Yeah, you can also alternatively also use Ravager of Cairn, right? This one is even more defensive, with like plus maximum all res, right? Like this would be very defensive for your like resistances as well, but you would need to get a little bit more chaos rest done on like augments. But that is not a problem, like I played with this as well against some of the bosses, totally fine. Alternatively, you could also use a, what's it called again, Kaisan's Eye, right? The Eye of Kaisan, the green eye. That is also always usable, depending on like your affixes. It can be even better than Spell Scourge or the Ravager of Cairn. The relic I'm using is the Deathstalker relic. The Deathstalker is a, well, mini-boss that you have to farm in the Ancient Grove in Ultimate, and only that boss can drop the blueprint for this relic. But once you have this and craft this, it can be completely insane, right? the Aura of Darkness of this pet gives you another 10% physical resistance reduction. Just, I don't know, amazing. And but you can also actually use a good old Fortress or Fortitude or whatever it's called, or Juggernaut actually as well. Juggernaut Relic, right? Juggernaut Relic over here. I think I was actually using Juggernaut, good old Juggernaut, to defeat, for example, Kalagaja. Juggernaut got nerfed a little bit because of Avenger Water being too OP, but honestly, that's so good. Like, I don't know, Juggernaut is still such a good relic. Very, very, very good, like, cheap alternative, like, budget option, basically, for this build, right? Other than that, I don't think it's really worth, like, crafting a Doom relic. Like, if you want to craft a Doom relic, don't do it. Just farm Deathstalker instead, and, like, farm Deathstalker instead. You could also do, I think, Menhir's Bastion relic or something like that. There is a very defensive relic if you want to be even more defensive than I am right now. This one over here, the Menhir's Bastion, yeah, would give you +1 soldier, give you better shield stats basically, and also has the Menhir's Bastion active ability, which would be another heal, and also more damage absorption. So this is a really good defensive choice to, well, think about as well if you want this build to become even more defensive. Anyway, so we are rocking 68% Physilis right now, not even 69%, what is this? And we have 3.2k OA, 3.3k DA. I mean, with Blindside, it's basically almost 3.5k OA, and you have like Fighting Spirit, which can proc on top, right? That's another 235 OA. So you basically have like 3.7 thousand offensive ability on this build, right? So yeah, so if Fighting Spirit procs, you have 3,500 base OA, and then Blindside reducing the enemy by 270. So you have almost 3,800 OA. And then like Seal of Annihilation is another like 55 DA shred. So yeah, you have basically 3.8 thousand OA. Yeah. DPS is 156k with that momentum up, and like some other of these procs, like Battlecry procs up, right? Which is not like the best ever, of course, but for a build this tanky, it is really good, right? We also have 5,000 armor, 3.4k DA. You can even get more DA if you spec into more physique, I guess. But you can also like take out physique to get more cunning instead, right? And then you would probably get up to like effective 4,000 away on a build like this easily, and get even more damage. It really like depends how you want this build to be, but it's very flexible, very flexible. You can basically make this either super tanky or super damage. Either way, it's insane. Let's also check a quick dummy kill time here, and then I'm gonna roll just some like gameplay clips of this character defeating like super bosses and other stuff. Make sure to also check out the video for its R65 to 66, the full run. The full Superboss kill videos as well on YouTube. They should be linked down below, or like in the playlist down below at least. So yeah, hope you're gonna enjoy this very tanky but still fairly high damage build. I mean, dummy kill time is like 28 seconds, which is honestly for a super tank like this, it's just it's pretty good still. I think it's still really good. But yeah, I'll see you around. Hope you're gonna enjoy this build. And as I said, you don't need to play this in the league at all. You can just play this as it is, without any league, without any mod. None of these items require you to be playing any mod. None of the devotions require you to play any mod, of course, either. So yeah, good luck with this build, and I hope to see you around on the next one. Yeah, I don't know, like, if the game doesn't, like, click for you after the tutorial, like, why would you play more? Like, why would you play more than, the first difficulty if the game doesn't click for you? Ellie have at least done endgame. I mean, that's true. In PoE I haven't. I mean, I did, like, the first Watchstone. I guess that's not really endgame there. But then again, like, when do you actually, like, get to endgame? Right? At least I did, like, some maps, right? Some low-tier maps. IGN kicked out you. IGN called Path of Exile that's Souls-like? What? a face anchor. I am sorry, my chosen, right?
I am sorry, my chosen.
Yep, sorry.
You disappoint me, Kaiman.
Unshackle yourself, Korvac. Come on. You can do this. Doom, 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 doom. It's a face anchor, yep.
All that was stolen shall be mine once more.
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Seize mine, an extension of my will.
I had to actually use a pot. What the fuck? Oh no, we can't kill him. ZDPS. Alright, I actually need to wait for energy, like unironically. Need to wait for energy to find Morganath. Dude, what is this regen? Holy shit. Let's wait for the pot, I think that's quicker. Alright, let's go, Morganath. Wow. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No Nightbringer? True. I already got one, but I have like trash rolls in it. Pretty bad rolls in it, unfortunately. Not even 5.6 seconds. Delete the build, right? Delete the build. Unless you guys like hate them. If you hate them, then we can debate whether or not we like want to remove some of them. But they're gonna most likely stay as they are. And there will be some more on top maybe. The Devastation Helm, the Razim. I mean not Razim, what's it called? The Ramzul helmet. Yeah, Ramzul is probably gonna stay. I mean, people actually have not been playing that much Ramzul, I was kinda surprised. Yeah, just don't have projectiles, then she's never gonna retaliate anything, right? Easy clap. Let's go and kill the tree. Big mean tree. Try to dodge the projectiles if you can, actually. I mean, or maybe not. Certainly dodge volcanoes there. Oh, it's actually kind of ZDPS. I mean, to be expected from Sword and Board.
Ravager.
It is a Ravager!
Massive bird. Who shall serve his brash
Tuvald,
and
okay.
proud?
Let's go with Tuvald. Dude, where was I gonna put points? What is this? I kinda wanna kill Ravager at level 97, not even kidding. Just wanna see if I die or not. Or rather, if I'm gonna like... if I will actually like, have to run away or not. Going back to menus. Back to menus it is. Alright, let's try this. Dude, what the fuck? There we go. He's 112, by the way. Oh, right, the energy leech. Oops. I actually forgot about that. Three! I'm out of mana. I need Arcanum Dust or something. Ravager knows, but we'll off. Oh my god. I forgot about the energy on this guy. The energy leech. Wait, which skills are debuffing? Are like removed? 1, 2, 3, 4? I have 5, right? Which one am I missing? Oh, Solar's Witchblade. Wow. Well, I mean I can actually play without it, I guess. It's only attack speed, right? I think I'm gonna need it actually. Fuck off, I do like leech. Ravager deals like more damage to my energy bar than my health bar. Actually kinda funny. Does he always have it in like default attacks, or how does it even work on Flesh? I don't even know how it works, the energy leech, honestly. Oh my god. My mana is gone. What the fuck? That was a hit with his eye debuff before my walk while debuffing him. Yeah, then he actually does hurt a bit. Move from the pools. Oh, the pools have the energy leech? Is it the pools actually? I don't know. I don't know this fight. I haven't fought him enough. Wait, it's actually the pools? Oh, you're right. Wait, that's just like Ravager of Souls then. It's actually easy to counterplay. Oh. Imagine knowing the fight. Stop it, Ravager-kun. Oh, I should like save overguard for his debuff. What am I doing? That's how you play it, right? Where's my... Nice life stealer pot spam. Dude, I need like energy steal pot. Not lost it pot. What the fuck? Okay. I guess the build is pretty decent, right? Can kill Ravager at level 97. Okay. I mean, why not, right? So what's the like quicker than the kill at level 100 on the, what's it called? On the Reaper, right? He's an easy boss, right? So it's up here. Easy. Easy copium. Okay, let's use pots. And most importantly, the Frostburn reduction pot. Okay. And we have permanent overguard now, basically, so we need to abuse that. Oh my fucking god. What? Wait, who of these hit me for so hard? Maybe I took like a projectile or something, right? Can we actually abuse the map like this? Wait, what hit me or crit me there? I don't get it. Okay, we certainly have to like respect these guys, that's for sure. And then like not get hit by that, right? Not get hit by that ideally as well. Oh my god, frozen. Mirrors up, right? Mirrors up. Wait, now they're healing me. What the hell? I don't get it. Oh my god. I'm getting hit. How did it instantly explode, dude? Are you kidding me? Holy shit. Fuck this boss, dude. We're doing this on another character. What the fuck? Easy boss. No, it's not even. It's not even medium. It's easy boss. Right? These are. Spider was medium. Rolderathis is easy. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I got hit too much by like Frostburn and so on. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna play this on a. A good thing we crafted like for 5 million for this fight, right? Why am I not playing Absolution? Yeah, I should like play another relic for this pro then. That's true as well. Yeah. I could like optimize this build even more, I guess. How did it instantly explode, dude? Are you... Dude, some of the hits explode, dude. Like, what is this hit, dude? I mean, I know he deals like Frostburn, but also what does this explode, dude? What is this hit? It's like 10k or something. It's more than 10k. Low. What the fuck? Okay, I'm getting like hit by 2 things, right? For a total of like 11k or something. Yeah. It's at least, yeah, 2 projectiles. But like sometimes, dude, I don't get these projectiles. Like sometimes they hit you for like nothing, and sometimes they hit you for giga damage. Overguard was up, right? I should have not logged out. Overguard was up. And Overguard was up here, right? It's still down. Okay, I charged before Overguard was up, right? This is the mistake. And now I'm frozen, I can't press it. Like I was pressing it here, but I can't because I'm frozen. Frozen. Then the projectile from the sky hits me, right? Frozen. And then I get hit by the 2 projectiles. Frozen. I could have pressed it here, I guess. Because I'm actually not frozen anymore. But I was just like, nah, fuck this.